I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented for the regular meeting of February 2nd and the 2 executive sessions for February 5th and February 9th.
Okay. I will second that and call for a vote. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passed. If you'll bear with us while we autograph these three. And then we have the approval of claims.
I've looked over and signed the claims. We'll make a motion that we approve those as presented.
Okay, and I'll second that and call for the vote. All in favor of approval of claims, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Excuse me, I'm having... I guess it is working. And then we're down to our public hearing for CRPC. Ted, do you want to...
Do you have the document? Is there a document?
Yeah, there's actually, you have 3 documents
Okay.
that need to be
I have
passed.
a manila envelope.
I
Yeah.
have a resolution here
It's not,
of the Commissioners of Carroll County authorizing a submittal of owner-occupied rehabilitation program application to the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs and addressing related matters. That sounds like might be it, doesn't it?
Okay. So I would allow the
Go right ahead,
representatives to address the board first and then open it up to the public for comment.
Right.
I'm Edwin Buswell with the Kankakee Iroquois Regional Planning Commission, and this is a public hearing to receive any public comments or questions about the county's proposed application to the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs for an owner-occupied housing rehabilitation grant. The amount of the grant will be $270,000 and the local match will be $30,000. The application will go in next Friday, the 27th, and I think they'll make announcements in late April. The owner-occupied housing, there are 5 eligible activities under that grant. Roof repair, ADA accessibility outside the home, heating and cooling replacement, electrical upgrades, and water heater replacement. Those are the only things that you'll be,
Okay.
applicants will be allowed to do. So we are accepting forms of interest if you're interested in applying for the program. You do have to meet income requirements to be eligible, and then the county has decided to focus on veterans as their top priority, so they'll get extra points if they apply, but everybody can apply if they have an income below those guidelines that we can do.
What are the guidelines for income?
I don't know. They're set by the Department of HUD. Okay. So it's based on household size. A one-person size has to have a one-person household has to have an income below $54,150. This is low to moderate income. It's not like a poverty level. Two-person household has to have an income below $61,850, and 3-person $69,600, 4-person $77,300, and it goes on up to 8-person.
Okay, now when you say person, does that include kids in the household?
Right.
It
yeah.
does.
And
Okay.
that includes all income that the household receives, so it's all combined.
I didn't know, since they're not contributing to the money, if that would affect it, but okay.
So it's-
Okay. Anything else? Ted, now what do we do?
Open it up for public comment.
All right, is there any comment from anybody out here? It's a very good program. If you have, yes.
Just a quick question, the local match is 30,000, right?
Right.
Where's the match coming from?
Yeah.
Edit, it's coming from edit funds. Is that what you meant?
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember that.
We're gonna have to figure out where we're gonna pull that match from, but,
Edit, you already did.
okay, all right.
So, yeah, the
Was
city
that-
of Delphi did this program, a little slightly different program during their stellar period about 12 years ago, so we have done similar project in Carroll County.
Was that council approved as well, Beth?
Yep.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Probably 20 years ago, my wife's grandmother did that and got a new roof on her house down at Colfax. And it was, a big improvement on her home, made her life a lot better.
I have a question for Mr. Buswell.
What's that?
I have a question. Do you need a motion then from the commissioners to approve
The
based upon?
resolution, yeah.
Okay, so that would be to approve the county's application, or whose application is it?
Yeah, it's the county's application.
To approve the county's application for the housing rehabilitation, owner-occupied housing rehabilitation grant. That would be the motion.
Okay, you want to make that motion?
I will. Is there any other input from anybody in the crowd? Okay, seeing none, hearing none. I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution 2026-01, approving the county's application to the owner-occupied grant program.
What was that ordinance number there?
Resolution 2026-01.
Oh, okay, I see it up here now. 2026-01. First ordinance of the year. I will second that motion and call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Motion passed. And I am signing all the spots where it wants me to sign. It's single signature.
There should have been two other ordinances, I think Emily dropped off. One was a fair housing ordinance, and one was a drug-free workplace ordinance.
We have a fair housing ordinance.
Okay, how? 'Cause
It was, I don't know.
We-
I can show you. I can show you.
Because Oker required them for grants you had in the past, but they changed the language a little
think we
bit.
have-
and
we
everybody
have
had to
it, I think.
update 'em.
Okay. I need to see the
We have
ordinance.
it.
The only thing they changed
Do you know what date
Fair
the
housing.
changes
it
were
was
made?
in 2012, I think.
Well, I'm looking at ours. I don't think they need to do this.
Okay, well, that'd be good. Yeah, they only changed one section of it.
Beth, if you had time, would you leaf through that and make sure we've signed every spot we're supposed to?
We had to update it, and I could tell by the looking at the code when it was updated.
Did you sign two of these for 2601?
I signed one. You want Bill to sign it?
That way I can just hand it to them.
Okay. The actual resolution.
Yeah, these are not all of the, these two don't belong with this one yet.
Okay. That's a fair housing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one I need.
You
But
have to
these-
take those back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, go ahead and go through the steps to adopt this ordinance. It needs a number. What number is this ordinance?
02,
Pardon me?
02,
02?
2026-02.
Because the one that's in the updated county code was passed in 97. I know they've done one since then,
Yeah.
but it didn't get in the code.
Because we got I know you did a grant in 2009, and you probably had to update it then, but then they changed it. Every few years they change it.
Has the Board of Commissioners adopted that one recently? You said in.
I know you had, I don't think you had a
Not the
grant
most recent one.
since, yeah.
So this is a fair housing ordinance. So you can go through the steps to, since it's an ordinance, it's not a resolution, you have to do the readings. Motion to read by title only.
Okay, we should read this by title only?
Somebody needs to make a motion to read it
Yeah,
by title only.
do I have Best do that?
Actually, Scott needs to make the
I'll
motion.
make the motion. I'll make the motion that, I'm sorry.
I was
doing a
just
motion.
asking for my copies back so I could read it.
Oh, okay, here. I've got them.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we take the first step in adopting the fair housing ordinance by reading by title only.
You seconded it.
Yeah, I'll second that and call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye, motion passed.
Now the auditor reads the title.
I need to back up here a minute. This one that they just signed is a resolution, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you guys say resolution?
I
or
did.
ordinance?
I did say resolution.
Okay. So really, this is 01.
This is 01, the fair housing ordinance.
Yes.
01 for ordinance. Okay.
Guys, scratch this out of 02.
Yeah.
And how far down do I read? Down
That's
to
just the title.
here, fair housing ordinance,
That's it?
number 2026-01.
That's it?
I like those.
Okay, now we can go ahead and do the,
Now this motion to read it,
Second reading,
actually, a motion to,
adopt.
no, that's a motion to, consider the ordinance on the same day as its introduction.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we consider the Fair Housing Ordinance 2026-01 on the same day of the first.
Of its introduction.
Of its introduction.
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye, motion passed.
Now it's a motion to adopt.
Okay, now we need a motion to adopt it.
I'll make a motion to adopt Fair Housing Ordinance 2026-01.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye, motion passed. That's signed
So you
too.
just need Bill's signature, right? It says
On that one,
President
yeah,
on
and
here.
did
So
you
just
know,
you sign on this one.
I got it, that one signed too, if you want it.
And there's a third one.
There's a drug-free,
Well, let's get
Yeah,
one
we've
done
got
at a
that.
time.
probably should have that. They didn't change that one, so if you have
Okay,
that.
we got that.
Okay,
We're good.
We're good on that.
We don't need this one.
Keep it, Ken.
You want it? Back, it's your
Just
copy.
lay it there.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay,
I guess I've got a question. What does because we're adopting this as a county, drug-free workplace ordinance, and we already have it in,
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
it's
I don't think
already
you're
there.
gonna adopt that.
But
You already have it.
what does Okra have to do with telling the county?
Because it's federal money.
It's federal money, so there's federal rules required that you have these in place to be eligible for their grants. But it sounds like you already have this, so you don't need to pass the.
Okay, all right.
okay. Guess we're done. Thank you.
Okay.
Now we're ready for our department heads. Highway superintendent. Something I didn't sign. Just 1 second, Hunter, I gotta do another sign.
It just, I don't know, I guess it seems to me it's a little overreach.
Okay, I'm ready, Hunter.
I have for today is I was gonna ask if you guys was okay with me going with E&B paving for community crossing grant this year, for them to be doing our paving.
You have selected them, and who is it?
E&B,
E and B.
they're out of Kokomo.
Okay. Have we used them before?
We have not since I've worked there 10 years that I know of.
Uh-huh.
We have not. But I did some talking to some other counties and other people that used them. They've been very pleased and said they're really good and easy to work with and everything. So I'd like to go with them and get the paperwork started for that.
And
Okay.
they were the lowest.
They were the lowest.
By
Yeah.
a couple thousand, it
Yeah.
seemed like.
Yeah, they were the lowest.
1,385, and the next lowest was 1,386. so.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And they E&B redid the State Road 29 project last summer
Oh, yeah?
from Deer Creek all
And
the
they
way
did the
up to.
old 25 work for the state too that we took over for Rockfield and Burroughs. They did that work as well. And
Okay.
it looked really good. And I didn't hear no complaints out of that. So I'd like to try them this year and go
But
with
the
them.
state hired them to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So with your guys' permission.
Ted, do we need to do anything else since
You need to vote to
Okay.
accept the bid of,
we need a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid of E&B paving to complete our community crossing projects this summer.
Okay. And I'll second that. Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Motion passed.
And Bill, if you're okay with it, once I get the contract and everything in, if I can get with you
Sure.
sometime this week.
Give
or
me a
the
call.
next.
You think it'll be later this week?
It'll probably be later this week. By the time I get back and get it sent to them and accept their bid and everything, by the
All
time
right.
I have it all done, it'll probably be the end of this week.
Okay. Okay, that'd be fine.
Okay.
And as a part of your time up here, we have Kathy Slaybaugh. Young lady came in and talked to us about a problem that she had with her ditch area.
Yeah, I've tried to get pictures, but the thing was down when I went to get pictures. I got them on my phone if you'd like to see them. Hunter, you've known this problem has been going around for a while, and none of you even reach out to talk to me about it. You're eating away at that ditch until that tree comes down. That's where our problem started, was that tree, and once I've seen what you've done, you didn't put any stone on my side. Where did that stone go? It had to be bid for that job. Where did the stone go from my side of the property? You have ate away the ditch on my side to the point where my shrubs, that ditch used to be lined with trees, shrubs. I was blocked, I had my privacy, I had my sound barrier. At this point, you have totally destroyed. You have eroded the bank where the bushes are totally gone. I have that tree, which is now leaning very far. I have one tree left here, which the bank is now eroding toward that tree, and the other trees are all gone. I cut 3 of them down because they're dead. I'm hoping I can salvage them, but the big blue spruce, no, I'm not going to be able to salvage it, I don't believe. I don't understand why nobody has reached out to me for any of this in all the years, and I know you know it's been going on for a long time. And to ignore me, I spoke to you the first day in office. The first day you took that seat, I spoke with you. You refuse to answer any questions, any calls. You know how at this point, we might as well get it done right. I'm not worried just about the gravel anymore. I want the tree fixed. I want that property back. I want my sound barrier back. I want my view back of my flowers. I want to be able to sit on my front porch, not be blinded by the headlights coming to turn around that corner. It needs to be surveyed. The ditch needs to be done right. The drainage needs to be done right. I live, you know, my property sits a good 3 foot below the road. You have no drainage on 500 whatsoever. So everything that runs down 500 runs that way. It's eating away. I've got a big hole. Not only do I have the ditch on that tree side, now I have 500 side that all the water's just eating away at more of it, causing it to lean even more. I want it resolved. I want it done. I want it dealt with. I'm tired of getting silence. The only one from the Carroll County Highway Department that helped me in any way was Mr. Shockley. He's the only one that gave me any kind of hope in this, and then he's gone. When I called was when you took that phone call that he had told me he had send the surveyors out in the fall and get an idea. You knew it was an issue, and you still refused to call me back.
How much of the problem that she has is actually in our right-of-way?
There's not much of the problem that's going on that's in our right of way. And being said that we tore it up and we made it a road, we had no part in that. The county highway had no part in any of that. That was the contractors that came through. If anything did happen, it would be the contractors that came through and did the underground stuff.
So the spraying of the ditch wasn't you either.
Sorry?
The spraying of the ditch wasn't you either. It's odd that my part of the property was sprayed. No place else was sprayed until you got on down the road farther on 700, and then it was sprayed right there across the bridge. So it had to be the county getting rid of their weeds. So why did they spray only just that part after they got the worked up and got the ground worked up? Why did we spray that ditch to get to those roots of that tree?
We try spraying right at our culverts. If it got sprayed and killed there, we try spraying right at our culvert heads to kill that so the water can flow. Because like you said, there's a water issue, so we try killing them weeds so the water can flow better.
At this point, and I have a picture of it, the hole for the ditch is here, and you can see where the dirt is over here eroding into my tree here, and you can barely see the ditch hole, the vent itself, from the picture that I have, from the dirt that's in front of it as it erodes more of my ditch. That's not on you.
Can I talk now?
I'd like it fixed.
Well, I understand you like it fixed, but you saying that nothing's been done, even when I was foreman for 4 years, it started way before me, and I remember going out there, we put riprap, you came out and said, looks great, we fixed the corner there. I was part of that. And you
Put
came out and
riprap?
said, you came out and said it looked good.
No. I haven't ever said that ditch looked good. No.
And then I remember telling you on your bank that's eroding away, in order to fix that properly, we'd have to shave that bank down and put riprap, and you said we wasn't touching any of the shrubs, we wasn't touching none of that. Well, in order to put riprap on your side of the bank, we can't dump riprap on a steep bank, a steep drop off. We have to shave that down to put the riprap so it holds, and you said we wasn't touching anything on your side of the property, you like your shrubs.
I do. Then why didn't you replace them if you was going to destroy them?
We did not destroy your shrubs.
They are eroding down into the ditch.
We did not destroy
You would
your
then
shrubs.
then why didn't you put the riprap up that you're talking about?
We can't put the riprap up with your shrubs there. It's a straight drop off. We can't put riprap at a straight drop off, or it's just going to make it worse.
So
and
you're
harder
gonna try to turn this all on me when none of you would even talk to me.
I did not say that. And I met with you several times out there.
And from Mr. Shockley, no, you have not. Oh, no, you have not. That's a lie.
Okay.
And Mr. Shockley even stated that in order for that ditch not to have eroded the way it is, that pipe should have been carried out another 6 foot onto that instead of being cut off right at the road's edge. The road's edge where you cut it off
know
and
where
never
this
put
is
any
that they're
stone
talking
in, it's where it started
Not
eroding.
for sure.
What's the address of this where it is? Let me get it written.
6990 North, 500 West. 6990 North, 500 West.
500 West.
Correct.
Okay. It appears that there's some difference of opinion here, so
I know that I've talked to Kathy on a number of occasions.
you've been pat back by that?
I've not been out by it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it sounds to me that a good portion of the damage was done by the people putting in fiber, which we all know has
No,
happened.
this was done, fiber was just done a little bit ago. This has been going on for years. Fiber just hit my property just about a year ago, maybe.
Okay. But in order to fix it correctly, you've got to, as you said, shave the angle of the ditch down in order for the riprap to hold, which would mean, it appears to me, which would mean taking, in order to shave it down, you've got to go back a certain level and get the grade in order to flatten it out so the riprap will hold, which it sounds to me like you can't do it to please you and to fix the problem.
No, it could have pleased me if like Mr. Shockley said, and that pipe had been extended another 6 foot, 7 foot, and protected that tree, and they would have put grass seed, whatever, I would have kept all that area mowed. I would have made it look nice. It would have been great. But I can't do that with 500 being the drop-off that it is and creating a bigger ditch because of the runoff of the water, which is now puddling because of the stone they put they did put like 4 foot of stone maybe, if that much, right there at the end of the pipe, which only caused the water to run a little farther past the stone and wash out more dirt again for that tree.
So
Go ahead.
it sounds like the issue was done a decade ago, maybe, when that pipe was put in-ish.
Well, yeah, he talked to me 10 years ago. I've been calling on it. It's not like I haven't tried to get something done and work with y'all. You people won't work with me.
Well, do you have any time this afternoon?
Absolutely.
Okay, I would, I don't know if you want to go out there or not.
I can, yeah.
Why don't we set a time for both of us and you to go out there and look at it? What time is good for you?
I'm open, sir. I'm going home now. And I'll
How about
be there.
1:30? Is that all right with you, Scott?
That'll work. Yeah.
Okay. We'll go out there at 1:30
Great.
and we'll see what can't be done.
Perfect. Thank you
Okay.
very much. I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Hunter.
Thank you.
Oh, Hunter, also, I had the conversation about that bond from, I think it was from 22,
Yes.
on the folks that put in there at Deer Creek.
Yes.
Need a copy of that.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay, I'll get a copy to you.
Okay.
As soon as I get back, I'll get it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next up is community corrections.
Nope.
Uh,
Kim,
oh,
don't we have Kim?
what? Wait. Yeah. I didn't see Kim's name on here and it's not, but
It all kind
okay.
of runs together.
Yeah, okay. Welcome, Kim.
Hello. Gentlemen, I have an application there for you to approve for a new resident.
Yeah.
She came last week. Our elevator was down for 6 days. And so when we finally got it up and running, she was able to come in, plus the other couple you've already approved. So that puts us at 25 residents. We have 2 rooms left. So we're almost at full capacity, which is a lot of work. Still need to think about the staffing issues because one person for 25 to 27 people is a lot. But I was going to get her approved. She had nowhere to go. She came in from a hospital rehabilitation area, so she needed to have somewhere to stay where she's not alone.
Yeah. Well, we have to approve a new resident there, don't we? And this is Regina Clark.
I'll make a motion that we approve the new resident. I did have a conversation with Kim. Speaking once again on looking at negotiated rates, because you just mentioned a few minutes ago, you know, maybe looking at increased labor force, because the more people we have out there, the more laundry, the more cooking, the more cleaning, et cetera, that's going to take place. And we've had that conversation with negotiated rates and how we should be cautious. Did you ever find out about the increased number instead of 5?
No, I haven't called Latoya yet.
Okay, because that, I'm curious
I
about
can
that.
call her, yeah. And I know it's based on how many people you can hold.
Okay. But I'm curious about that situation. But, you know, we need to be cautious because we're taking in folks that are about half the full pay level, which, you know, at some point we're going to hit what we call law of diminishing returns, where you add more people, that looks good number-wise, but they're not bringing in the dollars and cents that are needed to run the manor, if that makes sense.
Sure it does.
So just keep that at the forefront of your thought. But with that, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve Regina Clark to be admitted to the home.
And I will second that and call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Motion passed.
Oh, okay, there's one. I've got another one signed here.
Does this go with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
Okay, my other thing is bad news. We did have an elevator out for 6 days, and I called and left you a message on it, and talked to Scott about it, just so you guys were aware. TKE came out last Friday is when it happened. Night, it was. It was out Friday morning, so I called TKE. I called them twice that day, and he finally came out in the evening. They got it running until 3 or 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon and went out again. So we called again, and gentleman came out in the evening again around 7 o'clock. Said he can out fix it. He's gonna have to have some elevator guru, you know, the head service people come in and fix it, because he can't. So we went out Sunday. Monday morning I called again. They promised me someone would be out. Nobody ever came out. I called again on Tuesday. They said that they were waiting to hear from the supervisor of the service technicians. And then I called again on Wednesday. I went ahead and called corporate at that point to talk to them. This is a work repair order.
Yeah.
Our elevator out there is old, kind of like the one here. So it's having some major problems. It's got a temporary fix right now, but that's not what's gonna fix it. So he sent me an estimate on this work order. You know, it has to be accepted in 30 days or it's null and void. But it shows the scope of the work they're gonna do, what it all covers, and it's a hefty price. Plus you have to have half of it down at the beginning and then half of it when the order's done.
So it's $12,454 sick.
And the second page at the very top tells basically what it's doing. It's a solid state starter and what all of that covers. Saying ours is completely outdated and it's gonna short out and everything. So you can have that to read through. Like I said, it says 30 days, this will be null and void. It tells what you have to have down at the initial and then what you have down upon completion. But it's something that's gonna have to be done because we're gonna run an elevator. And you got that many people to get up and down on one lift chair that's really, really slow is a lot. Especially with my aides helping them with their buggies and everything, so.
How are you getting them up and down?
We have one lift chair.
You have one what?
Lift chair, it goes up the steps.
Yeah, and so that's what you're using.
That's what we use for all the people that are upstairs that cannot take the stairs, that have to have walkers and stuff. For 6 days, it's hard. That one aide that's on the floor is trying to get their buggies down and get them in there safely and then get them down all for breakfast and then back up, then lunch and then dinner as well. And it's unsafe because if we had an emergency, there's no way a gurney could get upstairs with no elevator, so.
Before we built the elevator out there, when I came in, that was in process of building that extra room on and putting the elevator on. And that was the only way they had up and down at all, was that stairway thing.
Yeah.
And there were people who were afraid of it.
Well, I did have a resident fall out because he didn't bump himself. So, some of them trying to do it themselves, it's not a good idea. So that's why aide always has to help them get in, go all the way down, get them out. So, then you got their walkers and buggies and all that stuff that they have to have with them.
Okay.
So it was a process for 6 days, and that's why those people could not move in, because I'm not gonna add 3 more people to that lift chair, until that elevator was fixed. So I wouldn't let them move in until it's fixed.
Okay, so you need us to sign this work order before they'll work on it.
You have to approve it, and then you have to figure out where it's coming from money-wise, because the first initial payment has to be with the signed paper for $6,227.30. And then the other $6,227.30 is due at completion. So we need to figure out where the money's gonna come from to be able to pay for it so that they get paid and can get it fixed, because it's gonna have to be fixed regardless.
So, where are we gonna take it from?
Well, I was thinking either cum cap or rainy day.
And you picked those two because?
Cum cap is for your projects, so that probably would be the best place.
Pardon?
Cum cap is for projects that you need to do.
Right.
But you also, I'm just reminding you, you also have to make a motion in your motion that we pay half up, because we don't do that. So I need it in the motion that we can, that you are approving that. And then it can go to the council this Thursday, but it won't be advertised, so they won't be able to, they'll have to have a special meeting to get it approved.
They'll have to.
They
Okay.
will.
To
Timely for her.
fit, to fit within the 30 days.
Right.
Okay,
Well, and get it going for the.
right, right.
Okay,
Yeah, and all that information's in this stuff too, you might want a copy of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's got signatures and how much it has to be paid, and actually like a little receipt with the payment you send and.
They've
and
got a
everything.
copy of that,
Yes, I gave them a
and
copy.
I do too.
okay, now, I think you said something about this, Beth, but I didn't catch it all. They want half the money up front.
Yeah, on page 2, it tells you the work order price at the very bottom.
Yep.
And it tells you what's due initial, 50%, and let's do it completion.
Can we do that, Ted?
Yes, you can,
Can?
as long as you include it in the motion.
As long as we include it in the minutes?
In the motion.
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 Authorizing the payment of the half up front.
Half up
I think we had to do similar with the elevator here.
Yes, we did.
Same people.
I then will make a motion that we approve I'll say $12,500 out of cum cap to repair the elevator at the manor. And also included in that motion will be that we approve paying half up front and the other half at completion of the work.
Okay? And I will second that motion and call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye?
Aye. The
I went
motion
ahead-
passed.
I went ahead and put the real number in there, is that okay?
Oh, yes, yeah, no problem. I just remember it's 12,454 or
Yeah.
something.
Not exactly.
How many do we need signed to these? You gotta send one to them,
You
right?
gotta send one to them, yeah.
After the council approves it?
Yes, with the check, like with the money or
Well,
whatever.
maybe, I don't know about that part.
I just know it's got the little receipt down there at the last page.
So we need a couple. I will give her a copy when the council approves it.
Yeah, and I've got them through email. I got this estimate work on it through email. I'll show it to you.
I'm sure of it. You're welcome.
You just get with me and let me know what I need to do, Beth.
Well, you probably need to be here on Thursday to explain it to them. Council.
Date of acceptance.
So all they're going to do
16.
is say that they need to advertise it, and I'll probably ask them for a special meeting, and we can ask them for a special meeting, whichever.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
There's one. The second one here in a minute.
Has your new person already moved in there, or?
Yes. She moved in. She was waiting to come in because she was at the hospital in a rehab program, and she couldn't go home and she had a apartment, she couldn't live alone. She's got blood clots and stuff, so, I talked to Scott, and he would told her to go ahead and come in, and you guys would approve her at this meeting, so.
Okay. What 2 rooms do you have available now?
Upstairs.
Give me an idea where.
Upstairs in, let me see, upstairs in the West Hall,
Okay.
so down by Ricky. And then I got one in that little wing that goes out front, right there between the West Hall and the East Hall, there's a little wing upstairs, and one in the corner there.
Okay. Have we taken care of it all? Did she get a copy to send? And all right. Thank you, Kim.
I'm gonna send it till after the Thursday,
After the
or whatever.
You gotta put a check with it.
I
Or
don't, she doesn't have a signed copy yet.
she doesn't have a signed copy yet
No, because
from
it's
them?
not approved by the council yet.
Okay. Oh, from the council. Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now you're ready, Callie.
I am here to give you our annual report for the Community Corrections Department. I submitted that report to you. I'll just give you the highlights. We are funded through DOC grant funding and the Indiana Office of Court Services. They provide us $297,598 for community corrections and then $64,368 for pretrial services. The rest of our money comes from project income, which is user fees that we collect from clients. For 2025 weeks, administered 442 drug screens, and of those, we had 47 positive, which is a pretty good percentage. We served 149 participants for community corrections and 312 for pretrial services. We had 25 clients successfully complete the driver's license reinstatement program. And we received training through the Department of Corrections for Cognitive Behavior Interventions program. We started that at the jail 1 day a week and 1 day a week at our department.
Okay, Kelly. On the second page, about 2/3 of the way down there, it says, number 14, caseload summary,
Yes,
community corrections only.
that's correct.
I don't understand what these numbers are. It says-
It's just a breakdown of our average caseload size by risk level. We don't include pre-trial services because they function differently than us, than the community corrections side, apologize.
Total number of full-time staff is 5. And so each one of them does 44 cases? Is that what this says?
No, we have, of our 5 employees, we have secretary, myself, field officer, and then 2 case managers. So between the 2 case managers and 1 field officer, they manage the caseload.
Okay. Do you understand those numbers, Scott?
I do, yep.
I can't get them to work out.
It's just an average.
How, I guess in your opinion, how do you feel, and Sheriff, you can chime in with this question as well. How do you feel acceptance and potential success rate has been going? Has there been a shift in acceptance, attitude?
Towards community corrections or
Yes.
our clients?
Yeah, I would say with the relationship between your clients and community corrections.
I think we have a good working relationship with our clients. We want them to succeed, so we encourage them and celebrate the wins when they're doing great. Of course, when they're not doing great, we have to hold them accountable. It's hard to measure that. We want to measure something that hasn't happened. We want to measure that they haven't gotten in trouble. It's easier to measure when they do get in trouble. So our rate of recidivism is very hard to track.
Okay.
Does anybody out here have any questions concerning this annual report? Do you have any more, Scott?
I don't believe so.
It's a nice report.
Thank you, Callie.
I had one other question.
Sure.
The Department of Child Services has a child protection team, and the commissioners have an appointed position on that team. And I was hoping that I could be your appointee for that position. It would be beneficial to my department to attend those child protection team meetings because we do supervise some of those parents. So we have a common mutual client.
I didn't get hardly any of that, so
Do
It's called the Child Protection Team.
Yes.
we need an appointment, or is it just us saying, yeah, we think you need to be there?
I can ask the DCS director.
Okay.
If I could have her reach out to ask for that appointment.
I mean, typically, when we appoint somebody, it's like, okay, on this board, we want these 3 people, whatever. So I would think an appointment letter or recommendation or something from them.
are we short somebody on the board?
Yes.
I don't,
You have an appointment that needs to be made,
okay,
she said. I mean, that you haven't appointed. So
Okay.
you could appoint her,
okay.
is what she said.
So technically, we can go ahead and make the motion to appoint Callie to the Department of Child Services, DCS?
It's the Child Protection Team with DCS.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll go ahead and make that motion. I'll make a motion that we appoint Callie Schimmel to the Child Protective
Protection Team, yes. Thank you.
Do you need a paper that states that, or?
I don't know, I'll ask.
Okay.
Is your motion done?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll second that and call for the vote. All in favor of appointing Callie, please say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. Well, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. My name is Mark Gorley. I'm District Service Officer with the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. On behalf of Governor Braun and IDVA Director Jake Adams, I want to thank you for allowing me to come before you today. The reason I'm here is due to several changes made under Indiana Code 1017-1 with regards to veteran services throughout the state, particularly county veteran service officers. The Indiana Veterans Affairs Commission has recently passed or finalized service officer accreditation standards that will go into effect and begin evaluating in July of this year. I believe there's been a copy of this distributed to you all. This is just really formalizing all of the requirements to become accredited with the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs for the purposes of completing claims and representing veterans as they apply for benefits with the state and federal government. I can say that your county service officer is in compliance from the aspect of what's in this document. He is making use of our claims management software, Vetrospect. He has the access to the VA's Veterans Benefit Management System. And he has a full suite of technology allowing him to accept documents and submit them electronically. In this document, you'll see there's several key performance indicators defined. Those are metrics that we are actively tracking and using to evaluate the performance of CVSOs throughout the state. The goal being to provide more uniform quality of service to the veterans in Indiana. If you have any questions, I'm free to take them.
No. Go ahead.
I have some questions, Mr. Chairman.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so I'm familiar with this program. So you say that our service officer has all of the technical,
Yes.
the computer and the card readers and all that?
As it says here, he has the stable and reliable internet connection. He has the office computer with adequate storage capacity that can maintain and operate the prescribed claims management system, a piece of software called Vetrospect provided by Tyler Technologies. And you guys actually have taken the extra step to make sure that the administrative assistant in that office also has access to that software so that they can better track and manage the veterans that come in to make benefits claims. He has the office telephone, he has the smart card reader, and the personal identity verification card that looks like this. Each person who has access to the federal VA systems uses that to verify their identity and log into that system. He has the document processor capable of scanning, faxing, and uploading, and he has the signature pad capable of capturing and transmitting signatures into an electronic format.
That's good. Some counties are playing catch-up and haven't got the equipment, right?
There are some that they don't have the reliable internet, some that don't have a computer that's capable of running things fast enough to upload documents in a timely manner. Some of them are missing the smart card reader or signature pad.
Another question, are you required by the department, like persons like you, are you required to go around to the counties to present this information annually?
Yes, one of the changes that was made last year by the state legislature was that the IDVA will provide this report twice a year. So there will be a representative from the IDVA again in front of you in the second half of this year.
Are you a representative for a certain number of counties?
I have an assigned territory. It had been the northwest corner of Indiana, but we've made some realignments due to some staffing changes at the department.
Okay. Does the auditor have your card?
She should, and if not, she will before I leave today.
Okay.
And my information is also available on the IDVA website, dva.in.gov, as well as a listing of all county service officers throughout the state.
This is making it easier for veterans to access their benefits. And it's also providing more uniform, making sure that all veteran service officers are up to a certain standard. Because there have been problems, you know, in the past, here, maybe, I don't know, in other counties where some of them were doing a lot and some were doing the least, you know. So this is a good thing for the veterans.
Huh?
That's all I have.
You have any questions?
I know that what I've heard, there have been a number of VSOs that are not performing to a certain level. Have you found that as well, or, I mean, throughout your region?
I would say that there are different counties that enforce different standards as far as what they expect from their VSOs.
But should that be a county responsibility? I would think it would be the.
Well, it has
Well,
been
it is.
county. It's been
It
county
is
up to
because
this
he is,
point.
Okay, all right,
county veteran service officers are still your employees.
right.
This is merely to set a standard for their continued accreditation to represent claims.
Okay. all
If they
right.
don't meet these standards, eventually they can be by the state, right?
And there's nothing that would
Decertified, right?
accredited.
Yeah, I did credit, okay, lose their accreditation.
Okay,
And there's nothing that would prevent you from adding on to responsibilities in addition to the benefits claims process. So, in some counties, the VSOs are also coordinate transportation to and from appointments at VA clinics through the use of vans provided from the Disabled American Veterans Organization. Some coordinate the dispersal and placement of memorial flags in cemeteries where veterans are buried. So there is variance still in certain counties, but this is specifically for mostly, I'd say, quality purposes in the claims that are submitted on the veteran's behalf, if it's with the state and federal.
now I know, like the Veteran Ride Service, where is I know we don't have one in the county, if I understand correctly. I don't think we've got one in the county. Where is the local, I mean, Tippecanoe County, do they have somebody for the Vet Ride Service to appointments and things like that who will come here?
I believe the Disabled American Veterans Organization has a van assigned to the clinic in the Lafayette area, but I don't have a part in how that's administered.
Okay.
If there's nothing else, I thank
So
you
do
for
we
your
have people that don't have a ride into the,
Yes, to appointments and things like that.
well, now, we
And there are
contribute every year to the senior.
Yeah.
Will they not take vets? What,
I would think that they would,
Yeah.
yeah. The senior services here in the county? Okay, all right. So either the senior services or the Veterans Ride Service
Yeah, there are
should be able
several
to provide.
transportation programs available for
Okay.
veterans.
All right, very good. Thank you.
huh?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next up is 911. Hello, Mark.
Good morning, gentlemen. What I'm doing today is come before you guys to ask for an additional appropriation. There should be a folder that says Comms Coach on it in front of you guys. That's the program that I met with the 911 and the EMAC about. What this program will do is standardize and streamline performance evaluations, reduce manual administration work, identify training gaps, improve employee development, and create a defensible documentation for any liability protection that the county may have. One of the good things about it as well is it has a translation service that has 181 different languages in it. Right now, what we're doing is relying on a language line that's for Spanish only. And when we get a hold of them, it's a three-way conversation. So you talk to the translator talks to the 911 caller, 911 caller talks to the translator, and back. So it's expanding and taking more and more time to get 911 services, the first responders moving. Along with that, if they're Haitian and they speak French Creole, that's not for the Spanish speakers, so then we have to call another phone line, and hopefully they have one of these translators available. What this will do is when we upload the software into the program, we type it in, it speaks to the caller, and then it translates that back to us.
I don't know how you get along without something like this.
It's very long and tedious for the dispatchers and that. Along with that, it'll use AI to do quality assurance checks. So when we do those quality assurance checks, we're always making sure that the callers are getting the services they need, that the dispatchers are hearing what the caller is saying and interpreting, especially when a person's in a frantic nature, it's a little hard to get it. So it will do a QA process for us. It takes all the human error out of it. It takes personal feelings out of it, and it just tells us if our people did it or not, if they met all the steps that are required. We can also use it, they've got like 4,000 different training modes where we can put brand new hires on a computer, on a headset, and get them experience working the CAD, working on the phone, without actually having to take calls.
How many languages did you say?
Over 181 different languages. The initial cost is $28,000, and then subtract $3,500 from it every year after that.
$3,500 every year.
After. It'd be 24,500. Yeah, 24,500 after.
Okay, do you have any grants or any funds?
No, there's no grants for it. It isn't allowable. I talked to the Indiana 911 board. There is an allowable, it is allowed through the 1222 account, but there is funds in the 1222 and the 1172 accounts that could cover this, that are not appropriated.
Well, what's your position, Scott?
Well, I did remember you saying something about paying it out at 1222 or 1172.
Yes, sir.
Is it something that would be a possibility, or is it something that we could share with them? I mean, I don't.
Share with who?
With the 1272 or 1172 or 1222.
Oh, split the cost between county and those two?
Yeah. And didn't you say something about like the sheriff being able to use this or not?
We would have to work on how we can get the translator
Okay.
portion to work, because it's typing through. So if the sheriff was on a call and they called in on the admin line to do the translations,
I
they could do
remember
it that way.
having that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's another lengthy process, but it's better than what we got now. Because I think what the guys are just using the translator app off their phone.
Okay.
A lot of times it doesn't get the right dialogue.
Okay, Sheriff, if you have someone out there now who doesn't speak a word of English, or at least says they don't speak a word of English, how do you handle it now?
Our phones we put translator apps on our phones. We talk into it. It tries to translate it to the English or the language that they're speaking, and they talk back into it and translates back to us.
And what would the program you're wanting for 28,000 do that doesn't do?
What's this program do?
Yeah.
It also adds the AI and everything else into it. One of the problems that we run into, because I used to try and use the translator app over in Saudi and Iraq when we were over there, it depends on the dialect that they're speaking. And within Spanish, there's probably God knows how many different dialects.
Right.
You know, so if you're speaking one type of Spanish and then somebody from Nicaragua is speaking a completely different type,
Right.
you're not going to understand the dialect, and it gets lost in translation.
And so your
on top
machine
of the
would,
translators, and that this also does a lot of QA stuff for us and everything else. So it does more than just translate. It helps with training. It helps protect us from lawsuits, showing that we're continually doing this training, that we're doing QA checks that are actually ran through AI. So they don't have any human error involved with it, within the interpretation.
how do they handle it in the courtroom?
I think, well, when I worked at Tippecanoe County, we had a Spanish translator that they would bring in. And I think they do the same thing here.
They do.
If they have other languages, I think they gotta hire a special translator to come.
They probably have a whole list of different
They've
languages.
got, right, and they're court certified translators when they're in the courtroom. They have to be certified through the courts. At least the ones in Tippy did.
Huh. Well, this is part of the modern age now, of having many different backgrounds. I mean, I suppose back in the 1800s, if they had somebody who only spoke English Irish or German, why, they'd have to find somebody to do it. But there probably were plenty of them around. I know Delphi had a huge German population at one time that were first generation here. I remember talking one time to one of the judges at Clinton County, and he said that they had a lot of people down there that were, you probably were on down there at that time, that were Incas, Indians.
I didn't know that.
And he said they don't understand any Spanish at all. So his translator, this has been 20 years ago anyway. Okay, so let me make sure I'm understanding, Mike. You would like to buy this system to put it on at the 911.
Yes, sir.
And it's $28,000.
For the first year, and then 24,300, something like that, 24,500 every year after.
24/5 after.
Mhm.
All the rest you don't just, okay.
No, you pull off like 3,700 or so.
Well, I can see that in an emergency situation, somebody's calling in and they're excited and they're wanting to talk to somebody and get help or something. It could be awful.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think, Scott?
Well, I think it's a good program. I was introduced at the 911 meeting a couple weeks ago. I think it's a good program, and the entire board believed it to be also. I would make a suggestion that we split the cost with 1222 to implement this program. Um, I would make a motion that we split the cost with the 1222 fund, and we utilize either rainy day or edit for half the cost.
Either rainy day or edit. Okay. That was a motion, right?
Yes.
I'll second it. Don't think I have any questions, so I'll call for a vote. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
One other thing, the joint executive session that you guys wanted to do on security with the council,
Right.
what about the first week of March? Between the sheriff going to conferences and my wife having a couple surgeries, that's the first time that we would be available at the same time.
So you're wanting to have a special joint meeting?
Yes,
or-
sir. The joint executive session regarding the courthouse security that you guys recommended at our
First week of March.
Who joint with whom, Mike?
the council and
Council and commissioners?
Council commissioners.
so we can do it all in one shot.
We'll have a meeting, commissioner meeting on the 2nd.
Yep.
I would suggest 1 o'clock on the 2nd or 10 o'clock on the 5th.
The 5th for you, Sheriff?
Either of those would be fine with me.
Say that again. I have to look to see on the calendar. March the 2nd.
I like giving the council choices, so March 2nd at 1 or March 5th at 10.
Just let me step in there and look at that calendar. real quick.
Okay, for this room?
Just right here. For this room, yes.
Do those work with both of you gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You're okay.
Okay.
Those are good?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
thank you, John.
We'll
Thank
find
you.
out, I guess we'll find out Thursday which one they,
I need to talk to Lauren too to see if he's
Okay.
available.
Hello.
Hello, Mike Martin, Carroll County Area Plan.
You sure are.
I got put on the agenda here at Carroll, but luckily there was an opening. I had 3 topics I was wanting to let you guys know that we've been working on. First thing would be some minor modifications to the county's public nuisance ordinance. I had our team get together and along with Cindy Harmon, and we made a few changes to the current public nuisance ordinance in place. Kind of changed some dates and times and fees of how that would work and who would collect those fees. And we need to see about creating a fund for the potential violations and fees. Made a few changes about what it says about abandoned vehicles or inoperable vehicles that would be on the perceived county right-of-way. I've got copies of this prepared for you, and there's 2 other things before I go much further. I also have a change to the zoning ordinances to allow for what we would call an accessory dwelling unit.
Wait, I didn't get that. What we call?
what's commonly referred to as an accessory dwelling unit.
Okay, yeah.
And what that means is to allow, because right now it says in the ordinances you can only have one residence per parcel, unless it's an apartment building or something like that. And there's certain zoning districts that do allow for that. This isn't what we're looking for. This is more of like where you can have an in-law suite that's an accessory to the main house. Like, so a lot of Amish, a lot of Hispanics, a lot of people have owned property for a lot of years. It's a generational property. So, you know, grandma and grandpa are going to pass it on to their kids or son. So it gives a place for the retired folks or physically disabled or whatever, gives them so they can have their own dwelling on a parcel. So as the current ordinances are written, there's no way to do that correctly. So this would give an opportunity to, you know, a young married couple, a disabled adult, they can live with a family member or someone close to that and create, you know, extra financial security for them and also for the main property owner. This isn't anything to do with like investment properties or income properties or anything like that. It's not an Airbnb situation. It's to help, you know, grandma and grandpa are retired. They don't want to sell their house and go to the nursing home or the Carroll Manor. They need a place to stay for the next 10 years or like whatever snowbird type situations or whatever. So, you know, there's people that these already exist in the county and in the city of Delphi, but they've been there for a long, long time. You know, there's 2 dwellings on one parcel. This is just to kind of give folks another option, like, you know, rather than, like I said, go to the nursing home or whatever, because it's specific, there's specific language that prohibits this kind of thing. Then this would be what I would say heavily regulated by my office. It's not just everybody can come in here, and it's going to have to follow a very strict set of rules. So that
What are
way,
the rules?
that's outlined in this packet I'll hand to you. I'm not expecting a decision on this right now.
Okay.
It's just more informational, and so's the ordinance. This is your nuisance ordinance. We just come up with some ideas to modernize it and make it more effective.
Okay.
Because they've got all that? Okay. I have extra copies if you guys need some. You have some?
I do,
Have it all?
thank you.
Okay. So like I said, all this stuff's been, we've worked out it together with the APC, and it's all favorable recommendations from them. I think the nuisance thing, we got to make some changes to make it where we could actually have some action taken. Like, especially for the small little towns like boroughs and things like that, there's cars sitting on the edge of the road on blocks. No license plates, no tags, haven't been operated or moved in 10 years. And they're sitting on the county right away. So what some of the language that's changed in the nuisance gives county officials, not just me, but you know, let's say township trustees could do it. The sheriff could enforce some of these rules. The health department could enforce these rules, not just one office. Because some of the nuisance issues are, you know, there's a wide range of reasons why there's a nuisance. And the fund for the nuisance fines or violations that would or could occur, it would go into a specific fund that someone, my office, the health department, whoever, they would manage that fund. So say there's an extreme issue where an abandoned property is a safety issue, and no one's maintaining it, doesn't belong to anybody. the county could pay someone to go to board the windows up, and clean up some of the trash, you know, to make it safe until it goes to foreclosure or tax sale or whatever. Because there's properties in the county right now that whoever owns them and who the deeded owners have been dead for 20 years. No one, you know, there's no one coming to claim it. Someone's paying the taxes.
Yeah.
And it's like someone's either squatting there or a relative was going to inherit it that never did. And then the house ends up burning down, but not all the way. So they just abandon it. There's a few examples like this that, where we could kind of take this nuisance and use it as a way to correct those situations.
I like it.
So, you know, it was properly advertised in the newspaper. I took the liberty to go ahead and put that in the newspaper that we were going to discuss it in this meeting. So if it's something you guys are interested in voting on now, that'd be awesome.
Not without an ordinance. Not without an ordinance.
Well, this would be the new ordinance.
Which one? Ordinance, this one?
26 dash.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It needs to be reformatted and everything.
Okay. So however you want it
Yeah.
to look, we'll change it. This is what
I
Cindy
mean, I
came up
could
with, so-
reformat it. I'll be
Okay.
glad to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they should, I mean, we gotta be careful that we do this the right way.
Sure.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
get,
I guess, you know,
become an
have-
issue on the defense end, you know?
Sure,
You
yeah.
didn't do this, you know,
right.
so.
No, I totally understand.
And the other thing is, we should really have a written recommendation from the APC. I know they've given the approval,
Okay.
but I'll get with you after the meeting so we can get it ready
Yeah,
for the next.
we weren't sure if we needed to actually vote on it as a group, you know, whether legally that needed to happen or not, because this is technically the commissioner's ordinance. We
Right.
just took it upon
That
ourselves.
one does not.
Yeah.
I mean, that probably does not. The text amendments for the accessory.
Accessory dwelling unit? Okay.
Yeah, that needs to be done by, you know, your regular procedure, have a recommendation and.
Okay.
So, but, no, I'll reformat this so we can get it on the agenda next time too.
So you want it on March the 2nd?
Yeah, all I gotta do is reprocess it, is what I'm gonna do. The way it is, the text will stay the same, but, unless I find something that may wanna change.
Yeah, at our next APC, I'll make sure that, you know, we get a legitimate, favorable recommendation. And, I didn't provide.
Yeah, on the fee, the fund, most funds, non-reverting funds, which this would be under Indiana law, have to be created by home rule ordinance of the Board of Commissioners. I mean, I think the fact that the commission is recommending this and you reporting it is sufficient legally. We don't have to have a formal recommendation to consider, for the board to consider that.
Okay.
There are some fees that have to be established only by the county council, but most funds are created by the legislative body, which is the Board of Commissioners. So what I will do is we've created non-reverting funds. In fact, we got one that's been created. It's not actually in operation that
Yeah.
look into.
Yeah, a year ago when I first started really thinking about, hey, we need to kind of modernize this, kind of make it more effective, because it's like, where would the fines have went? If we did find someone, where does it go and what's it get used for?
We have an unsafe building fund, I believe. We did have, anyway.
I don't know. We
But-
haven't used it, so I don't
But
know.
this would be different than that. The unsafe building fund is under a separate Indiana code. Buildings that are about to fall down and hurt somebody or, and so forth. So this would be a separate non-reverting fund. I can draft one of those and just change
Sure.
change the purposes, I might want to have your input on some of the language of it, but I can get that done for the next meeting too.
Sure, yeah, and as long as we make sure Cindy's involved too and is tracking with all of it also. So yeah, I think that's good news. I appreciate you guys supporting this. We got a few things to iron out. I wanted to just, kind of get the ball rolling on this so that way some of these places that have had been bad shape for a lot of years, because we got a lot of complaints. I would like to be able to make some progress on things. Obviously, we're going to prioritize, use common sense approach at it. And my biggest thing was to make it so someone besides just the area plan commission or director could actually do something. Like the small towns, like the town of Camden could essentially start enforcing some of the county ordinances without pushing it all on one office. It's just kind of my ideas of it. And then, so this nuisance ordinance wouldn't apply to Delphi or Flora because they have their own, as far as I know. So this would just be for all the rest of the places. So, and then if you guys don't have any more questions or comments on that, I got one more thing. I don't have any paperwork to support it. I just wanted to pitch the idea and see if you guys are supportive of it. And then it'll be another thing we'll work on improving. So, so as of now, when it comes to splitting parcels of land and making, like you take 60 acres and split it to make, there's a house that was part of the original farm, right? Common thing now, people like, hey, I want to keep the house plus 10 acres of woods and sell the farmland. That's kind of a common thing. We have options for that. Pretty much, it's not a big deal. But so say, the rules say you can only split a parcel for development. When I say development, that'd be for a home. So you can only technically split a parcel twice in the
Current code?
And it's written kind of loosely, so it's hard to interpret. So a lot of folks, they split off 10 acres for the woods to sell to a logging company or whatever. And then they split off, there's 2 houses on the main parcel, right? So they split those off. They run out of opportunities to, it's pretty much locked in. You can't split off another 2-acre lot because you've went beyond the allowable amount, which is 2, okay? So most communities, if it's over 2 and under 5, not most, but from what I understand, it's called a minor subdivision. So it give an allowance that, hey, as long as it meets all these other criteria, I can approve a few more splits off these parcels to develop a home. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not. Because as it is now, if like, hey, they've took off and split off two home sites from the main parcel. They don't have any more options because they've already took the 2 off. That's the maximum amount. If they wanted to take,
You have to do a home site on it.
it has to be, it's intended for home sites exclusively, because we have other options to split property for agricultural purposes, or you trade land with your neighbor. There's exceptions to the rules for that. This would give more opportunity for, similar to the accessory dwelling unit. Like they've already, dad's already give 2 of the sons 2 acres apiece, but the 3rd son doesn't get anything because there's not allowed to split off 2 more acres. If they do over 10, it's different. There's another rule for that. But my key intent for this is to split land a few more times, between 3 and 5 splits, without doing the whole subdivision process. They'd have to meet all the other regulations that go along with a building lot, which I already enforced that anyway. So that's not a big deal. So there's, you know, quite a few people call wanting like, hey, Grandpa said he'll give me 5 acres to build on. I'm like, well, you gotta have 10 acres because it's already been split too many times. So if they go over 10 acres, then I have an option there. They're like, well, we can't afford 10 acres. Grandpa's gonna give us 5, not 10. If you understand what I'm saying, you know, kind of gives a few more options. And obviously, this wouldn't be a way like, hey, we split this 3 times and then take all those and split them 3 more times, you know, to avoid the subdivision rule. This is just like a very specific scenarios. Like with my home place that I inherited from my dad. My dad gave my brother 5 acres 20 years ago. I inherited his place. Luckily, there was a house already on it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't split it again right now because there's not, even though I have plenty of acreage, it's already met the maximum. And obviously, stuff like this, you know, if it's in the floodplain or there's no way to get adequate lot sizes, then it would be not denied by me, you know. No new roads would be made. They'd have to have, you know, a common entrance or, you know, something like that. It would have to, you know, as far as the driveways in and out, take some consideration in that too.
So you would be the only one, or area plan director would be the only one making that decision, or would that be something that would eventually come in front of the commissioners?
It's something that we could maybe do within the APC. Like it'd be an not an extreme circumstance, but it'd be like a noteworthy event. It's not like going to be something that happens every single day. So, because doing a subdivision does require coming before the APC board and all that. So it wouldn't be a huge stretch to bring it before our board, but from what I understand from other counties, it's essentially up to the APC director.
Okay.
And if I say no, like that doesn't meet the criteria, the person could request to go before the APC and be like, hey, this is why I think I am allowed to do this. So they give them an opportunity. If they were denied, they could, you know, appeal it essentially.
Okay.
I'm reminded of this, that there was a gentleman that I've known for decades down south here that he had given small acreages to a couple of his descendants, and he had one coming to him that wanted his share. Now it was actually an in-law. I mean, it was his granddaughter's new husband.
Right.
He wanted that. And he called me up and he says, Bill, with all those rules you got written down in there, isn't there some way you can deny him this?
I know what you're talking about, and
yeah.
And according to the ordinance, I'm like, nope, because Grandpa didn't want to be, you know, upsetting the apple cart, but you know, he wasn't comfortable. So I was like, yeah, there's not an option anyways, so don't worry about it. It's all my fault.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, perfect example. Like I said, so when the Hoosier Heartland come through, right, chopped all kinds of these lots, these large, you know, farm lots up, right? When we're talking 60, 80, 160 acres, and then there's 3 acres on the other side of the road, that's kind of, you know, why didn't the state go ahead and take it all? But it's still got the same parcel ID number as the main part, even though there's a highway going through it. We've dealt with a few of these, you know, and sorted it out, but, you know, if I go by the current ordinance, does that count as a split? I mean, the property owner didn't really have a choice in the matter. You know what I mean? So, like, to go ahead and give that 3 acres that's kind of chopped off and it's all grown up with trees now, they can't even farm it, you know, in my mind, and I've done it, approved a split for those because to me that was an extreme circumstance. They didn't have any control over it. And Bob and I have talked about some of these things multiple times and about how other counties do it. So I don't know if he's got anything to,
Yeah, I could.
he's got any thoughts on it or?
Yeah, I would say most counties in this part of the area that I've practiced in, have a maximum division of 4 divisions within what they call a parent tract. And that's basically the legal description of the tract when it was deeded. Okay, so you can have 4 divisions under 10 acres and as many divisions of 10 acres that you have, you can do that. So typically, I mean, that's White County, Tippecanoe County. I think the only one around here is Clinton County that's really strict on it, that you have to.
Minor subdivisions?
You have to go through a minor subdivision. And when you say subdivision, that invokes the public hearing
And the commissioners.
into it and takes away the administrator's ability to just approve it based on the rules that we've established for those parcels, you know, those divisions within a parent tract. So I think, you know, there's gonna be some decisions made on size of these tracts. You know, if you wanna make more than 1 division in a parent tract, you know, how many divisions, what are the minor, or the minimum acreages, minimum frontage, and then allowed private drives versus public roads. Once you get into a public road, you've kicked yourself into a major subdivision. Okay, and don't let the names, they're just different classifications based on different criteria. Okay, when you say a major subdivision, you automatically think of a 100-lot subdivision, residential subdivision. So it doesn't have to be that. It's usually because has to be a sewer extension to serve that lot. Okay, so because it's a public improvement, requires it to be a major subdivision. So anyway, I think what Mike's mainly talking about is the ability to divide a parent tract into more divisions. And then I think area plan needs to come up with, you know, how many divisions, what's the development criteria. And I think that helped.
Thank you, Bob. I think that sounds great.
Yeah, and these 3 topics I brought up, these are probably the most calls that we get in our office other than normal business. These are the things that people call about the most. Public nuisances. Hey, can I build a place on the backside of my property where I can live and I'm gonna give the house to Junior? We get a lot of those calls. And then the divisions of property is probably our next biggest thing. You know, where it's kind of like, well, there's an opportunity to improve it and make it better for the community. So, and, you know, more options for places to be built upon and developed. So I appreciate your guys' input and all that stuff.
Scott, do you have any comments?
I don't. I mean, Ted will, I'm sure, get everything
I'm gonna reformat the.
in line.
form.
And,
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
okay.
I do have one question while Mike's here, so, and Bob is here. Surveying has been ordered for the parcel, you know, the county's parcel, and Bob is working with the surveyor to make sure that they save the trees and so forth. My question for Mike is, has the owner, the owner of Single Tree, he's talked to you, correct? And he knows he needs to get a rezoning of the acreage?
Yeah, the split, yeah.
Okay, is that okay? I mean, everything that you know about that?
As far
okay?
as I know, it's fine.
Okay, so he hasn't applied yet for that?
He's come and talked about it. He hasn't, I don't know if he's got the survey done yet or not, but as long as he's got the survey, I'll approve it in my office and it'll be ready to go to the auditors and then to the recorders.
Okay. I didn't know if you had any questions. That's all I've got.
No, I'm glad that's coming along.
Well, then, he could technically, the owner of Singletree, could technically start the rezone as soon as he has a legal description.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That sounds,
Even if it's in the commissioner's name,
yes.
Yeah.
That's not unusual at all.
yeah.
Yeah, and if so he pays for the survey and the legal description,
Yeah.
I think the county could technically file the application to split it prior to him even owning it.
Yeah, it's like a contractor,
Yeah.
or a developer, you know, that's not the owner
Yeah,
of it.
we do it all the time. People like
Yeah.
said with these splitting properties that, you know, like, hey, I haven't physically bought it yet, but I'm going to. So I just tell the deeded property owner, like, well, they're the applicant, they're splitting it from themselves to themselves, and then the closing and all that stuff happens later.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I've got.
Do you have a copy with the town of Flora's signature on it?
No, I do not.
Neither do
I haven't heard. I don't know if you heard of whether they voted on it. They were supposed to.
I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
I have got a few calls from the appraisers on those lots, though, just asking questions about
Yeah.
zoning and things like that.
Right. So, yeah, I presumably, now that was on the 4-H.
That could be.
That was on the
Yeah,
4-H.
that's true. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Right. That wasn't on the,
Still, we don't have it
yeah,
done.
that's all.
I have a question.
Sure.
I like the idea of being able to add the granny pod or whatever you
Yeah.
call it back there. What happens when granny passes away? What happens to that? Who can use that pod?
It could be used for similar situation, you know, you can't necessarily use it as a Airbnb and a weekend rental and stuff like that. So it'd have to be someone, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily have to be a grandma.
Yeah.
It would be
I would think once it's there, it can be used for anything.
well, and we were talking about having it, record a notarized document stating that this is the intended use for that. And it goes with, on the record, that that's what it's for.
That's something to give thought to because that's a commercially viable potential for
Sure.
successor owners to have a rentable.
Yeah. And there's, I don't know how many's in the town of Delphi. There's probably 10 or more that are already like this. Because, so by definition, a dwelling unit, what is a room with a closet, cooking area, bathroom. So like most people's pool houses, by definition, could be considered a dwelling unit. That's not what we're talking about, you know? Because like a lot of people's pole barns have full-blown facilities in it. That's another thing we've been talking about too is
Party barns?
Party barns, like, and it's on their parcel, like, and like I tell, when they do the application, I say, intended use, it's for storage, you know, canning and processing or wood shop or whatever, not an accessory dwelling unit. Because I was like, well, everybody could build a pole barn and put a apartment in it. That's not what, I have other ways of kind of regulating that, you know.
So they can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, they can have it there, they just can't use it for an accessory dwelling unit unless they come to me and saying, hey, this is the intended use. This is for my grandma or my newly married daughter that's in college, stuff like that. You know, even those kind of things would be considered acceptable.
You can't change the purpose of your building that you've built.
It could be rewritten to do that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, hey, I got this detached structure. Grandma's gonna live in it until into her life, and at that point in time, it's gonna turn into just another accessory building. It's not gonna be like, hey, we're gonna put it online for rent on Craigslist or anything like that. That's not the intention.
So we want all three of these things. We want all three of what he's got on here.
Well, I'm only working on the reformatting the
Well,
ordinance.
I can bring more information on the other things, and then,
Just tell me what you want on the next one when you.
I would say maybe, all three things, that way we can, we can spend 5 minutes on one of them, just kind of like, hey, because if you guys have any ideas, more the better, because my intention is to make it better for the property owners, and, so they have more options, so.
Okay, I have another question.
Okay.
On an earlier part you had there, you mentioned the cars that are up on blocks and things like that. Now, if they're not on the right of way, we don't do anything about that, or?
Well, I wouldn't be able to just get them, when I say I mean anybody that's a department head or sheriff. I can't just have someone's car towed off of private property. The property owner can, whoever owns that property can, but that's not my intention. I could put a notice and say, hey, you need to get tags on that car, or put it in storage, or, you know what I mean, get it out of the front yard, or, store it somewhere else, like where it's not an eyesore or whatever. And there'd be certain circumstances where, like, hey, I'm gonna leave this car parked here for 6 months, and I intend on moving it once, whatever. It goes for more than just cars, abandoned anything, golf cart, boat, whatever. So my main intention is the stuff that's on the right of way, or half on or half off.
There's the other part I was wanting to ask you about. It is the right of way, not the driving area.
The right of way, yes.
Okay.
And then, so a vehicle's sitting in Burroughs that hasn't had a tag on it in 6 years. It's literally, it's not necessarily in the road, but it's on the right of way.
Right.
It clearly, either we need to get it moved or get it fixed.
Would you have to look up ahead of time and see how wide the right of way is there?
Well, it's 60 feet wide, so, and most of the lots in those small towns are 60 feet wide, so, they're.
We
like
have
I said,
some streets in Cutler that are 40 and some that are 50.
Yeah, and I understand that. So it'd take some careful consideration on that. It's not like I'm going to go into town and write every single vehicle up, because, obviously people need a place to park, but leaving an abandoned vehicle there is one thing. If it's got a storage tarp over it where it's clearly they're using it or whatever. It's like the Landmark Tavern. What's it called now? The Dock?
Yeah.
All their parking is in the county right away. Really? I'm not going down there and beating them up because they have people using their business. That's not the intent. It's like if they got a car out there with both wheels taken off and it's been sitting on engine stands for 3 months. That's the kind of thing we're talking about, that it's just essentially abandoned. There's one sitting next to the railroad, on the railroad property, that's been there for, you go back through the aerial photos, 10 years. It's been there for 10 years. Who knows who owns it? At this point, it doesn't really matter.
No,
literally, because for one, it's sitting on the railroad's property, right? Or I don't even know if the railroad even owns it. But it's not sitting in the street, and it's not sitting on someone's lot. So, and it's been like that forever. And what would happen is essentially the vehicle is just getting towed just like it would anywhere else. It's just going to a tow lot, impound lot. So if they want their car back, they can get their car back. They just got to pay the tow fee and the storage fee. It's either that or fine them for 5 years, and then they owe $5,000 to the county, or we just get it towed and have them sort it out.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to pay for it to get back out, I think common practice is they just sign it over to the tow truck company. And that's their business to figure out, not ours,
So you or the township trustee or somebody could come around and tag them and say,
Yeah.
you've got so many days to move this?
I'm going to have, might get with the sheriff, because the state highway tags cars on the side of the road all the time. And it's just, they were there for 3 days with a broken drive shaft. It just goes to a reputable lot where it goes to storage, and if they want it back, they can go get it or not. So,
This all sounds good to me.
and like I said, there's situations where, you know, you'd use common sense about it, you know, like go talk to the neighbor. How long has that car been sitting there? I don't even know who owns it. Well, okay, then.
What about yard art?
Yard art? I'm sure that's a broad term, and there'd be some creative people who could figure that out. But my intention is to enforce the right-of-ways and, like I said, the stuff that's clearly not on private property.
I bring up yard art because my oldest son has like a 36 Oldsmobile.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it looks like a bunch of crap, but he thinks it's beautiful.
Oh, I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
I've got calls on that one, too.
Yeah.
But, you know, something like that, push it back and like, if it's for sale, I don't know, like something like that. If you're trying to sell a car, like, I don't, you know.
Oh, he's had people want to buy it, but it's too beautiful to him.
Well, everybody's got their own opinion on it, stuff like that. Yeah, so that's my intention with all that stuff, and I really appreciate it. You know, like I said, it's not like we're trying to go out and ruin people's lives. I get calls all the time about chickens. You know, people want me to go and tell their neighbor they can't have chickens, you know. So kind of got creative solving those problems.
Key West protects them.
Yeah.
You can't touch their roosters anywhere in Key West. They just roam around loose everywhere.
All right, so
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Nope. Bring it to us.
Thank you.
And I buried my thing here. Here we are.
You should have an exec.
Ted, do you have something to bring up about resolution?
This is approving your 2026 capital improvement plan. You should have an executive order, 2026-01.
Yeah, Board of Commissioners amending and restating the Carroll County okay?
That needs your approval.
We need to approve this.
Yes.
Okay.
This is edit
Yeah.
fund spending,
2026.
-01.
You'll have to do a new one of these every time if we tap into it to do some of these
That's
others.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Executive order, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve Executive Order 2026-01, which is the Carroll County Capital Improvement Plan.
Second. Call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
I have
Okay.
one more item that's
All
not
right.
on here, and Bob is here also. We need to make sure we understand what the board is wanting, and with regard to the seven or plus acres on the location, and who is to pay for what. The question came up with the surveyor, was it or not?
Well, about the easement,
Oh, the easement, I'm sorry, utility easement.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a utility easement.
Yes.
Singletree's not gonna need an easement. They'll have service without an easement. So there will also need to be a survey. The survey for the acreage is in progress, but we're also gonna need utility easement for our service and to relocate the pole line.
But do we need to relocate the pole line? That was my question.
I think that is correct, isn't it?
Bob and Mr. Beamer from REMC, the three of us met out there, and the poles seem sufficiently tall enough, and we don't believe that will impede in his operation there. So my thought was, I don't know that it's a necessity to.
Will it be across his parcel though?
Yeah, it comes.
Pretty high.
There does need to be an easement.
Right,
Yeah.
right, but relocation, I don't know
Okay.
that relocation is a necessity.
I agree. But we need to add that easement onto the survey
Right.
if we want to do that. And I think, well, after meeting with Pittmont, what was the cost? It was 20 to 30,000.
It was in the $30,000 range, because we're gonna have to bore under 100. We're gonna have to bore under 100 north, because service comes on the south side. So we're gonna have to bore under 100 and then set a couple of poles to the manor. And yeah, it was in that $35,000 range. And I didn't think that it was a necessity, because the service that comes across that property, it should not impede with his operation.
So at least he's planning to build a two-story building right under it.
Right.
You know, but he's got plenty of ground to do something.
Mm-hmm, agreed.
So we need to also be on the same page with Mr. Hickner then. And he's not aware of this issue, I don't think. I haven't communicated with him about it.
I've not brought it up with him.
In the initial talking about everything, nothing was ever said about, and we're gonna move that line.
Okay.
So we've made no commitment to him that line's gonna be gone.
Okay.
I'd
We
like,
still need the survey though of the easement, because the existing line will go over the property.
Yeah.
So, I would like the board actually to vote on that, so that we can take that to Mr. Hickner and say, you know, and also to authorize the surveyor, while they're doing the survey, to go ahead and do the field work for that.
field work for the
So that
easement.
there's
The easement.
field work, so there's a separate survey of the easement, because it'll be the 7 or so acres subject to the easement for the utility line to the Carroll Manor.
Okay. Well, Scott talked to me about that, and it just seemed like it was an awful high amount of cost to us to change it.
So if the board would make a motion so we can convey that to.
All right.
Well, convey
To Mr. Hickner, you know.
Convey what necessarily?
The message, you know, that we're gonna include there'll be an easement across your property for the utility. I don't think he'll be surprised at that at all.
I'll make a motion that we convey the fact and ask the surveyor, who's currently working, to create an easement for utility line across the property that will eventually be traded.
That's good enough, yep.
I'll second that, but I have a question. How wide does that easement have to be?
Depends on, the, Carroll White, or it's Carroll White, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How wide did they wanna,
Carroll White's gonna
Didn't we
tell
have
us
an easement
that,
on the other side of the road?
how wide
Pardon?
the easement has to be.
With IPC, didn't we have another easement on that side of the road?
I didn't know if there was a standard amount that you leave for
I don't know.
a line like that.
If different
I was thinking we,
On the south side?
public service companies have
so
different.
that won't help?
I wouldn't, just thinking of it, if it was going across my property and I was giving that easement away, I wouldn't want to give it on both sides of the line.
Water and
You know, if you're gonna have room for a truck to get down and everything on the side of that easement, I think that it should be only on one side.
Offset,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good point.
Typically, they're not. Typically, they're centered on the pole. But, I mean, we can find out what they want.
Well, how are we gonna find out and what are we gonna tell them? That's the thing is.
Well, we just need to contact the co-op and find out what the requirements are.
Well, they'll want 10 acres.
Well, then if you want their service, no, they're usually pretty reasonable, especially the co-ops.
So it's gonna cost $20,000 to $30,000, and where are we getting that?
We're
Well,
not paying.
No. Only if we moved the service.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Got it, I'm crossing that out then. Makes me feel better.
Okay, and I need to call for a vote on the last motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Motion passed. Okay, anything else to come before the board of
Yes,
commissioners?
I have one more thing.
You got it, yeah?
This is
Yep, last line.
the,
We skipped it the last time, we can't skip it again.
What is that?
this is the edit.
Didn't we just do that?
Yeah, we did. This just has signatures.
Oh, well, we need to sign it, so, right?
Yep, that's
The
it.
other one is the approval of a deputy prosecutor full-time job description.
Okay.
Council has approved it, we kinda did it a little bit differently because just to fix it, I was told fix it, so I'm trying to fix
Oh,
it.
sorry.
So it's all done backwards. You're the last one to approve it, which you should have been the first one to approve it, because it's a new position. So, she's working, and she has been, and we all found out that none of this was around, so I'm fixing it.
How many, we've got a deputy prosecutor.
Yes.
Right?
She's paid by the state,
Right.
and so this one will be paid by us, the county.
Oh, so we're gonna have two
Gonna have two.
deputy prosecutors.
Yeah.
All right. I'll make a motion that we approve the job description as presented for the county deputy prosecutor.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Motion passed. Anything else to come before the board?
I just want to make sure that full-time security job description that we approved last time doesn't need reapproved for the.
You already have one, right?
Yeah,
If we already had one, no, it does
Okay.
not.
I just want to make sure.
I didn't
It was
check.
the one I sent you. so.
Yeah, I didn't check it out, but you told me, so I believed you.
Yeah, so we had, when we got the security last time,
Yeah.
we had, was it Irwin?
Yeah.
They did a job description for full-time and part-time. Well,
Okay.
we didn't hire full-time, but everybody approved
We still have the
the
full-time.
full-time job description, yeah.
And did they approve it?
Yeah.
Wonder?
I-
Did
yeah.
we bring them both to him?
Yeah,
I think we approved both of them in
yeah,
one
they
fell
both were
swoop.
approved just in case.
Okay, that's good. That's why we should do everything. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else to come before the board? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? We are adjourned.